Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
All right, who is ready for some life change? Well, I see Lucy, Nadia, Sarah, they're all calling in because this is the right place to do that. This is New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez. Thrilled to have you with us today. We can't wait to see how the Lord is going to use your story in the life of another person. Here to take your calls, we've got clinical psychologist Dr. Alice Benton. What's up, Alice?
Oh, motivated, happy to be here.
Awesome. And here as well is Marc Cameron. He is a licensed marriage and family therapist. What's up, licensed marriage and family therapy guy?
Well, I want to talk today about tolerance, and not in the recently redefined, politically charged sense, but in the original meaning of tolerance, which is the ability to endure discomfort. Now, I had a client this week who told me that she got a haircut she didn't like, and so she went back to the hairdresser to get it fixed, and then when she came home, she still didn't like it. And instead of, she thought about going back, but she said, you know what, I'm going to tolerate this. It's going to be okay, and it will grow out. Now it's a small example, but that was also growth for her. Mm-hmm. You know, it was indicative of the transformation that's happening in her life as she's learning how to tolerate other things and growing. And I mean, it's something that we all have to face in life. In life, we all have to face things that we don't like, that we can't fix immediately, and sometimes things that we just have to sit with, you know, such as grief. And our ability to manage discomfort without avoiding, distracting, or reacting impulsively is one of the strongest signs of emotional maturity. Okay, let me just add here, this is where addictions come in to play too. They often start because we don't have tolerance for something, and so we distract from it. But each of us has a window of emotional tolerance, which is a range in which we can feel and respond to emotions without becoming overwhelmed or feeling reactive. However, that window's not fixed. It can expand, but it only expands through existential effort. Like you actually have to practice the very thing that you're wanting to get better at. So if you want to become a more patient person, then you have to tolerate learning how to wait. If you want to be a better listener, then you have to tolerate learning to sit with opposing views without interrupting, shutting the other person down, or rolling your eyes. That is the only way to build your capacity. Now, let me be clear here. I'm not talking about suppressing. I'm not talking about suppressing emotions where you just like stuff things down and you deny, right? That's what leads to addictions or explosions or a breakdown. What I'm talking about is the skill of self-regulation, where you can just learn to slow down your reactions long enough to ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? And it's in those moments of pause that the deeper work of self-exploration begins. And that we can also learn to encourage ourselves that it's possible for me to manage this discomfort. And that's how tolerance becomes a tool for transformation. Now, this is also how we grow in Christ too. There's something called the fruits of the Spirit, which are evidence of the Holy Spirit's work in our lives. But God doesn't just bestow these upon us. That comes from the work of sanctification, which in psychology we might say, you know, dealing with our unfinished business or doing our growth work. But the fruits of the Spirit, they're cultivated, and they occur through tolerance and perseverance. And the more we lean into discomfort rather than escape it, the more our character deepens and our responses mature. So the next time you're tempted to lash out, shut down, run away, see it as an opportunity to build tolerance, right? It's a signal that your window of tolerance is being tested, and it's a chance to stretch it a little wider.
But in the case of the person that you mentioned who had this bad haircut and now she's just going to let it grow out, that can take a while. So what do we do in the meantime?
That's the tolerance.
That's the tolerance.
That's the learning to pause and say, can I be okay in this?
Yeah.
And you can.
All right, we're going to get to the phones in just a moment when we come back here on New Life Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening as well. Make sure to tell everyone you know about New Life Live.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity, impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Cincinnati, Ohio, August 22nd through the 24th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go to Austin, Texas and talk to Sarah, listening on KBBW. Welcome to New Life Live, Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. Great to hear from you.
Thank you. So, sorry, I'm kind of nervous here.
Don't be nervous, you're amongst friends.
So I've been married for 19 years, and just recently, my husband disclosed to me, and I knew I felt this several years ago, but, and nothing came to light until recently, but he told me that he has been, sexually or going online, and, he had pictures of both me and him, videos as well, and he would share these with these people online. And, there was other lies that have been coming out the past 2 years. He was staying out late with coworkers and didn't call me. And I kept asking him if he was having an affair. And he said no. And so last weekend, I had questioned him about, a woman he said, he slept with that was older. And he said that he met her, in East Austin where a friend used to live at. And I'd said that was when we were married. And then it's like he changed his story and said, oh, no, I met her online. It was before we were married. But again, just recently he came out and said that he was doing this online and sending them pictures and all that. I really can't, honestly, I don't know if I believe him if he actually met these women physically, since, he said he's done that previously before in the past. He did tell me that he went and got a new apartment on Saturday. And, he is begging for me to reconcile with him because he said he wasn't physical with these women. But I'm really, I'm scared, and I don't know what to believe. I feel like I've been living with a stranger. We were married when we were really young, and yes, he has been verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. When we were younger, he was physically abusive. Like he would just get mad and lose it, But around that time frame when he said he was going and doing this online stuff, he was going out and coming home and yelling at me and raging. At one time, he even threatened to get his gun and go kill himself, And, he said recently he got a lawyer, and I don't know if he was just trying to bring the fear out of me because he was like, oh, the lawyer's going to cost like over $8,000, and, maybe we could just use the same lawyer. I don't know, if he's, if he's trying to, be mean against me,
Sarah, you've been living in what sounds like a reign of terror for most of your marriage, and it's escalating. And you're getting very mixed messages. He disclosed, which there's some good in him perhaps confessing and being honest. He says he wants to reconcile, but he also got an apartment and a lawyer. That they're opposing messages that you're receiving. What is it that you want now, and how can we help you?
I feel like I have lost myself as a person and my soul. And, I just want to be, I want to feel at peace and ease, and I want to be able to I don't know, move past this. I don't think, like, I've been in such trauma for so long, and like constantly living in this, adrenaline,
And Sarah, when you say I want to move past it, does that mean stay married and get over this? Does it mean leave and move past the marriage?
I think, honestly, we have 2 kids. One's 18 and the other one's 11. But I honestly think it just really has not been healthy, and I don't think he's, I think I need to leave this situation, I don't, I'm scared, because I was holding on to my marriage because it was like I just wanted, the perfect family, and, in 2019 I did my own work on myself to try to fix myself to be better, and I just, I don't know, I feel like the right thing to do, like, my friends tell me leave, this is not okay.
Sarah, I think they're right, because this is a dangerous relationship. And whenever we're in danger, we need to get to safety. And so I think you need to get to safety. And you don't have to have all the decisions made right now, is what I want you to know. You need to get to safety so that you can clear your head to be able to make these decisions. Because I agree with you. I think you have lost yourself. It's not your fault, but you have lost yourself. And that's what happens in the cycle of abuse. There's a lot of there's abuse, and then there's gaslighting, and then there's love bombing. And the other person loses themselves because they're trained by the other person, because they're told this is that you're the problem and you need to do all of these things so that I feel better. And you lose yourself, and a great imbalance occurs. And that's how abuse happens, is when there's an imbalance of power, a power dynamic. And so I agree. I think you need to get to safety. This is a very dangerous relationship. And if he's shared, I think you're saying that he shared intimate pictures and videos of you both online, that is a very deep betrayal. And and he's not even fully disclosed, because you caught him in a lie, and then he's starting to backtrack. And so I think you need to get to safety. I think you need a therapist to help walk you through this. Do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
Yeah, I think you need to have a person who can take that third party, someone who's separate from your friends too. Not that you're probably getting bad advice from your friends, but that third party who can speak into your situation and then emotionally support you too.
Not just any therapist. I want you to let us help you find one in our network who has the level of expertise that your situation needs. Because of course you'll still have to communicate with him. You have an 11-year-old. But I agree that you're not safe in leaving, at least for now. Now, if he already got an apartment, I hope you and your children don't intend to leave your family home. He should leave and go live in that apartment that he got. But the legal protection that you'll need, it probably entails consulting with an attorney and considering even a restraining order, while working with both an attorney and a therapist who can help you navigate the co-parenting that still has to take place. But considering that your children may not be safe with him as well. Now, maybe he hasn't perpetrated violence against them, but if they've been exposed to it, those are things that a mandated reporter, if a child is exposed to some of the things that you've described to us, then the children aren't safe. So for you even to protect your bond with your children, that's one of the reasons to get space away from your husband. Now, if your husband, with that disclosure, if he has any true inclination to wanting to really get help, the level of help you'd probably need to see would entail things like him going to our Every Man's Battle intensive, 90 meetings in 90 days, drug testing. I don't even know if he's using substances, but I've got to wonder, given the escalation in his behavior, ongoing individual treatment, and feedback that you would receive from all the leaders of the groups and the weekend and the individual therapy, that they would give you feedback, not him telling you how well he's doing, but rather objective evidence from the outside. Now, if he wants to engage in all of that, then there is hope. And if he doesn't want to engage in it yet, sometimes waiting long enough to say, I'm not willing to reconsider reconciling until I see these things from you over an extended period of time. And 6 months of showing great behavior in these areas is still not enough. It's a start. It's a good start, but it's not enough. Not after what you've been through.
What do you think, Sarah?
I really appreciate your help and your advice, and thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, did you mention Restore, Alice?
No, talk about
you
that.
didn't. And we actually have an intensive for people in your exact situation who have gone through betrayal. It's called Restore. I'm trying to look and see when our next
in
one
November.
is. It's in November. It's a little bit a ways from now, but you may be in a place of healing and recovery at that time to really fully take it all in.
So are you okay financially? Like he's not going to like come in and, stop your debit card or anything? I mean, are you okay?
I have no clue. I don't know how to handle this situation. I've never done this. We all share like the same, like he has a bank account and his money goes to his bank account, and I have my bank account, my money goes in there, and we have separate savings, and then we have joint savings. But we could all see ourselves, our money, we could all see it, it's all kind of still conjoined in some kind of way,
In some states, I don't know if this applies in Texas, but a lawyer could advise you, because a legal separation can pause and freeze major changes happening to accounts, and that's why you need to talk to an attorney. I'd recommend getting in touch with a local domestic violence shelter, because then they'll be able to connect you with attorneys that work specifically with this kind of situation.
Yes. So let's send her a resource from the newlife.com store as well. And maybe
Intimate Deception.
Yes, Intimate Deception by our friend Dr. Sherry Denham-Keffer. We're going to send that to you just for calling in today, Sarah. And definitely look into the Restore Intensive happening in November in Washington, D.C. All right, let's go to Canada and speak with Nadia, who is listening to us on the New Life app. Hello, Nadia. Welcome to New Life Live. Are you there, Nadia? Did you press mute on your phone by any chance?
Yes.
There you are.
Had a feeling.
Takes a while to get the voice from Canada to here.
Oh, that could be it too. Yes.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for taking my call. I so appreciate you guys and what your the work, the ministry that you guys have, and how you bless my life so many ways. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
So my question today is about patterns. So as a young child, I was diagnosed with a blood disorder, and with that, I was imprinted in many ways. And I find that as an adult now, how these things are showing up in my daily life, and how it's just, it's a struggle. I find myself to do, I'm very resilient. I've gone through a lot of crises and health issues over the years as a child, doing way better right now. But these things are showing up psychologically right now, and I'm just wondering how you could help me put things into place, like practical things, where I struggle with like procrastination, because the way I was imprinted with that disorder, it almost felt like, so the doctor said people with this disorder does not make it past a certain age.
Oh.
And so it's almost like I stopped, but I guess subconsciously I didn't have long-term goals. It's a struggle when I even hear the word goals. It's like, because the disorder affected me in ways where every time I went to school, but I ended up having crises. I would be out of school 2-3 weeks at a time, and so I always have to play catch up. And so at some point, it's like, what's the point? So,
Nadia, I want to check on a belief that may have formed there because of what the doctor said. You won't live past this particular age, most likely, and then your crises it affected your ability to stay on top of things like school. What did you come to believe about yourself? It's some negative belief about your inability to complete things, like, I won't be successful in life. I'm not even going to live past this age anyhow. What did you start to believe about yourself?
Yeah, I definitely, no matter how much I tried, what makes, I'm just going to end up behind anyway. So it's like, what's the point? And so it's only now as an adult, as I've done those deeper work, these things are surfacing. But not until then, I was just beating up on myself. It's almost like like how, you know, I do things that I would be like I'd like to do, but when it comes, I lose momentum very easily, or, you know, I don't like to challenge myself to new things, or it's just a struggle to go on.
And Nadia, what was that age at which the doctor said you probably wouldn't live past?
8, and now I'm 40.
It was 8 years old?
8 years old, is that what you said?
Oh no, I was the doctor, they say people with that diagnosis normally live only past 28.
28, okay.
28,
Yes.
but you're 40 now.
Now I'm 40, yes.
Okay, we've got to take a break. We will come back to you here on New Life Live, and all the other calls that we've got on hold. Stay on hold. We want to talk to you as well. Thank you all for calling in today. We're going to get to as many of you as we can here on New Life Live with Dr. Alice Benton and Marc Cameron.
What a New Life course is it's around a topic led by a professional, licensed counselor coach, with a small group of 8 or 9 people on a weekly Zoom call. You're going to go through the information, but also connect as a group. Those group processes make all the difference in the world. And so we have created New Life courses so that you can experience that on a weekly basis. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful. And it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us. So you can sign up right away with 8 or 9 slots open. They're going to go quick. And so you want to call today and get registered.
Begin your transformation in September with a New Life course. Lose it for life, take your life back, or healing is a choice. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Club New Life changes lives.
You guys came along into my life in 2022. That was a really, really difficult year of my life.
You can help New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people by joining Club New Life today.
I began to really process a lot of things that I've needed to for a long time, and y'all were a very big part of that.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
I came out of it having never experienced anything like that, and y'all were there.
Join today and help continue the message of hope to a troubled world.
I knew I had to keep going, and I joined Club New Life, and y'all have been the resource that has now been a light for my wife and I.
Go to newlife.com/CNL, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places.
Keep doing what you do because it makes a difference.
newlife.com/CNL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's go back to Nadia, who's listening in Nadia. Thank you so much for calling in today on New Life Live. Nadia's story, her doctor said, you probably won't live past the age of 28. She's now 40. How are you health-wise, Nadia?
I am I haven't had crises over 10 to 15 years, so that is really amazing for me. But, whilst I see a team of specialists making sure I'm taking care of my health, I tend to see how this is affecting me psychologically. And I am seeing a therapist, and I'm also a believer, just always renouncing those beliefs and things that I have formulated, but it's still like getting it to be practical in my life. I start things, but it just, I don't know.
Are you married, Nadia? Do you have kids?
Yes, I actually got married 3 years ago.
Good.
And thanks to New Life, by the way. It's great also. And I also have a son, a 21-year-old. So, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I just want to affirm you for a second here, or validate you, I should say, Nadia. I think it makes sense why you form this belief of, I can't control the outcome and I don't have a long-term future. When a doctor would say something like that, because I would imagine a person would have all of these thoughts in their mind of, well, if I get married, then the person needs to know, they're going to be losing me. And if I have a child, then, is that selfish because then, my child will lose their parent? Or what's the point of studying for a career because, I'm not going to be in there for long term? So I just want to validate that, hearing something like that, especially at a young age, and that being instilled in you, it makes sense why you form these beliefs and that they hold you back and that you procrastinate because you subconsciously live in the long term. And now I think Alice is right. In that moment, a negative self-belief formed. Now, there's a therapy called EMDR, which stands for Eye Movement Desensitization Reprocessing. And part of that therapy is to desensitize us to triggers in the present, but it also helps us identify negative self-beliefs and form more positive, healthier self-beliefs for us. And I wonder if that would be a good type of therapy for you. Have you ever heard of that or thought about doing that type of therapy?
Yes, I've heard of this before. I haven't done it, but I have heard of it before. And I for me, it's like, I feel like I've done well. But so let's say I'm married. I didn't hold myself back and feel like I don't deserve it in a sense. But I see where subconsciously, of course, I did tell my partner, are you sure you want to do this? Because this could be my situation. I did formulate goals around, although I said I don't like goals, but I was like, okay, I have a son at a young age, and so I'm going to do my best to try to get a property for him. If anything happened to me, he wouldn't be home out there in the streets. So although I've done things, like I just finished graduating and getting my diploma, which is very hard, by the way, but I overcame, praise God. But yeah, it's like, it's time to step in the field and even become a counselor. That's what I want to be. And it's like,
so you've still lived in this short term of I'm not going to be around, I got to prepare for everyone else while I'm not around, right? Rather than being able to prepare for yourself.
It's strange, Nadia, how the negative belief stands stronger in our heart and mind than all the positive evidence. And so EMDR and or cognitive behavioral therapy both help us to counter that belief. And it usually doesn't work effectively enough to just do it on our own, because we really have to tell the stories of when we came to believe that fear, how scary it was, all those times you had to go back to the hospital. It probably felt at times like you weren't going to even live much longer because of the ongoing medical issues you had. So the pent-up emotion leads to the confirmation of the belief, well, I'm just going to end up behind anyways. What I was thinking about you, and you just confirmed it more and more with all the things you added. My replacement statement for you is, I'm an overcomer. I beat the odds. I'm ahead of the statistics. And EMDR or other forms of therapy help us to get that belief solidified in our heart and mind. I went into EMDR myself, and my old belief was I'm a screw up. And there were some times I screwed up, but the evidence was actually against that. But I still felt like I was a screw up. And through therapy, I came to know and believe I'm actually a courageous risk taker. And when I can see that and believe that more about myself than my screw ups, it frees me, and it frees up a lot of energy for me to pursue the things that I want. But you mentioned procrastination, and two things that can help with that. First, addressing these underlying fears. And second, getting a body double. And a body double is a person or a therapist who will come alongside you in those very moments you're facing the tough task that you're not willing to do. I just did this with one of my clients recently, where she had a great goal, but she couldn't get it across the finish line. So we just had a phone call. I was just sitting on the phone with her as she was looking at the finish line. I was like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. And because I was there with her, just somebody else who cared about her was there, she completed it. A body double can help us get done what we cannot do on our own, because that's how grace and the body of Christ works. For two are stronger than one. So get your body double.
All right, Nadia, thank you for calling in today. Can you imagine at Nadia's house on her 28th birthday? I mean, that was just a joyous occasion, because she wasn't supposed to live past 28, and on that day and every birthday since. So Nadia, thank you so much for calling in today and sharing your story. We really encourage you to purchase a copy of Healing as a Choice from the newlife.com store. We've also got a online course coming up in just a few weeks called Healing as a Choice. You can find out about it on the newlife.com website. Lucy and Victoria coming right up.
I was stuck. I was so stuck. 27 years married. My husband addicted to pornography for the majority of our marriage. I was very isolated and didn't really know which way to turn.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our life. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Washington, D.C. November 7th to the 9th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
You guys helped me figure out what was going on.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
I want to share a note from a supporter. Her name is Dawn, and here's what she writes. I cannot believe that I have known your ministry for over 30 years. How is that even possible? Asks Dawn. My younger daughter was exhibiting some complicated behaviors, and my older daughter had terrible fears. My husband and I were often at odds. Our family doctor recommended therapy for all. We had no extra money for such therapy, so I took the girls to church elders who provided counseling. I spent much time on my knees with tears streaming, crying out to God for help. As I was driving one afternoon and your radio program came on, a glimmer of hope. Out of desperation, one day I called your number, and the most loving, understanding person on the other end of the line ministered to me. I bet you that was Jeff, because whenever I call, Jeff answers, and he's great. I needed help with my own depression, as well as help strengthening my trust in God to do his work in me, as well as being able to help my children and my marriage. I learned so much from New Life Ministries through listening to the radio program, receiving books and information through the mail. I began to support New Life because I believe your ministry helps so many people that it should never go away. During a very rough patch in our marriage, we both grew back together with God's help and the wonderful books and workbooks from New Life. Now I'm a grandmother with grandchildren with some emotional issues that I feel comfortable counseling from all that I've learned over the years. Thank you with all my heart, and may God continue to bless your ministry. Wow. Dawn, thank you so much for letting us know all this. I mean, it's amazing. We would love to hear how New Life has helped you, and we'd love to hear why you support New Life. Maybe you've never given, or it's been a while, or you're thinking it's time to become a Club New Life member. Well, we've got 3 easy ways that you can support us, either by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or at newlife.com, or you can text NLM, as in New Life Ministries, to 28950. Lucy, thank you for calling in today on New Life Live from Honolulu.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy to talk with a counselor.
We got a couple of them here.
I'm calling in because I have a very close friend I've known for a long time, a guy, and he has been in a 30-year relationship with a woman, and it was very, very healthy in the beginning, but now after 30 years, it's more than starting to. It's for the last 3 years they've been still living together like roommates. Mm-hmm. And he is not happy in this situation, but he's so afraid to speak up about anything, really. It's amazing to me. And yet he's sort of drowning where he is, and that scares me. He does see a therapist, and he's now on antidepressants, and he is better. He's actually a lot better. But I'm wondering what my part is in this. What suggestions could I make that would be steering him in the right direction, in a positive direction?
Have you become his? I know he sees a counselor, but have you become a sort of counselor to him?
I think even before he was seeing a counselor, we were friends. Mm-hmm. We met in Al-Anon meetings. That's how I know him.
But is he relying on you for emotional support and direction?
He doesn't rely on me, but he says that, that he appreciates just the support. And when I was sick years ago, he was probably the only person calling me, and he would read prayers to me. So I appreciate him as well. He's like a brother, a younger brother, I would say.
Do you know this woman?
Yes, I do. I knew her before I knew him, actually. And she's a wonderful person.
So you're really close to him, but I can hear that you feel some sense of responsibility here for their relationship, or for at least helping him heal.
Well, if it was me, I want to suggest a couple of things. One, that he talks to a friend I know that might be interested in him. And another one is I'm wondering what about online stuff? I would like to see him moving on. But, that's my take on it.
Lucy, I'm going to say something a little. I'm going to say something a little hard to you. You're, while trying to love him well and protect him, you are undermining their relationship, and they're still in the relationship. So you're talking about hopeful things for the future if he gets out. But
no, he has already on his own. He has already tried to ask other women to join him for lunch. Not actually dating anyone, but just.
But they're living together, correct? When you said they've been in a relationship, are they married, or they've been in a domestic partnership?
No, they have been living together for 30 years.
Okay, so they've been in a romantic sexual relationship for 30 years, living together like they have been married for 30 years, even if they actually did not get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me just say this too. I don't know any relationships that are really good for 30 years and then all of a sudden they get bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So
what do you think about all of this?
Well, I think like what you're saying, he's afraid to speak up. He may have taken on more of a pleaser role, and that's what he's done.
Oh, he's totally.
Yes.
We've discussed that. He knows that he's a
okay. So it's not that the relationship has been really good. It's that he's been afraid to. Oh, hold on just a second here, Lucy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I think it's okay. I think he's been afraid to speak up. He's been afraid to make waves, and that's perpetuated a cycle. But I think what Alice is saying here is, I know he's a good friend to you. He's like a brother, but he's not actually your brother, even though he is like a brother. And that could be threatening to this person, even if you've had a relationship with her before, especially if you are encouraging him to move on. I mean, he's not actually ended this relationship. They're still living together. So he needs to make a decision about, is he going to grow, and is he going to face the uncomfortable, and is he going to invite her to therapy or to address the relationship, or is he going to leave? He can't do two things at the same time, continue to live with her and then look for someone else.
And Lucy, if he gets to offload his stress and his complaints to you, then I think it makes it less likely that he'll bring them to his partner. So this may seem strange, but I think to truly love him well in this time, you might step back and redirect him to his therapist and to his partner. I don't know if you should be telling me these things. I think you should tell it to your partner and to your therapist. I'd start using that phrase.
That's what I have chosen to do recently, because I noticed that since he's been on antidepressants, he is better. But my problem is that I'm worried that he's drowning in this unhealthy
And Lucy, who else in your life was drowning in a bad relationship and you felt responsible towards them before him? Who else?
It isn't me, but he was actually left by his mom in the deep end of a pool and ignored, I guess, and he did almost drown. So that bothers me too. I keep thinking it's like he's drowning all over again just by staying in it.
Yeah, and you're right. But I think what Alice is trying to say is that you are rescuing him and you're repeating probably a role that you have learned. And he is staying in this and people-pleasing and acquiescing, and he's likely repeating a role that he's learned. And what Alice is saying is focus on your role rather than becoming enmeshed in what he's doing. Otherwise, he's looking for you to rescue him, and that robs him actually of his growth that he needs to do.
Lucy, any romantic feelings for this, either now or in the past? Is that why you're kind of hoping? Never? Okay.
Never.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be hard to stand on the sidelines and watch someone struggle. But you know what? If it's hard, that's probably your growth area that you need to lean in and look at and work on. I know it's a hard message here we're giving you, Lucy.
As you've been to Al-Anon, you went because someone else in your life was likely struggling with addiction or really unhealthy behavior. And that was tough for you to be in relationship with that person and probably unable to change them. So think about how this relationship elicits similar feelings. And by doing your own work on yourself, you'll be better able to release him and what he's going through. And that will serve him better.
Any recommendations from the newlife.com store? So many great resources there that we can...
I'd say Healing is a Choice.
Healing is a Choice. Okay, Lucy, just for calling in today, we're going to send you a copy of Healing is a Choice. And another reminder that we've got a 12-week online course beginning in early September, the first week of September, in fact. It's called Healing is a Choice. Once a week for 12 weeks. You can get all the details about it at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Victoria, you're coming up next here on New Life Live.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and
it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
God is a God of second chances. It is never too late to change the end of your story, and we're here to help you. If you're battling an addiction, things can change for you. We've got life recovery groups, printed and digital resources, and the Choosing Wisdom online conference in October to help you along in the life recovery process. But which is the best path for you? Well, if you're not sure where to begin, we can help you with that as well. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and we'll get you all set up. Here is Victoria, listening on WAVA in Maryland. Welcome to New Life Live, Victoria.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, how can we help you today?
Yeah, I am grandmother of the 21-year-old boy or man. He's already man, like saying boy. He just dropped out after almost 3 years at college last year, and he's so unmotivated. He doesn't socialize. He's afraid. He gets anxiety if he socializes outside or if he goes out by himself. He lives here in the house. We live in the house with his father. I only have one kid, which is his father. And I mentioned to my son whether he should practice tough love, because I've been listening to you a long time, and you helped me in the past. I know they are very protective. That we can't do that. That was the answer. My thinking was maybe they needed as a parent therapy, so they will know how to deal with him. I just don't know what to do.
Victoria, when you said to your son, maybe you need to try tough love, how did he respond?
I can't do that, ma'am. He told me.
Did he explain why, or do you know why, just as you know your son?
I have no idea. He's very, how can I say? He loves their kids so much. He has two. The first one is already working. I mean, he's so much different than this boy.
Did you or his father ever have to show him tough love? And maybe he's afraid to do it?
I can't say anything because he's my son. He won't like it. He told me once, when I even mentioned about his wife, why don't you tell me this? And he said, you always mention me that everybody has a cross. My wife must be my cross. So stop telling me that. Since then, I don't say anything. But in the meantime, it's just very hurtful to see the way it's going.
How painful that he would respond that way when you're trying to help, but you got snipped at there by your son. What's your relationship like with your grandson, and is he more open to you and the wisdom you want to share with them?
He is a good son. I mean, he's very caring, loving. I mean, if I talk to him, he listens to me, but he doesn't answer. But I said, sweetie, I even told him, you're in that age that you should go and find the girls. Those chicks must be waiting for you, I told him. And he smiled, laughed, but he didn't say anything. anything else.
Do you know, does he go to therapy, your grandson? Does he see a physician?
He did. I called actually WBR and the program. What is that? At around 7 a.m. They suggested me. They gave me 3 names. One of them, he used one of them. Mm-hmm. But my son told me that he wasn't that helpful.
Mm-hmm. So with
they found another one, but it was not either. So at this point, I don't know.
So he's 21 years old. He dropped out of college. Does he work? Does he just stay home all day?
No.
You say he has no motivation at all.
He stays at home. He wakes up around 3. And if I tell him to cut the grass, to do this, he will do it. Mm-hmm. But then, what I see him is playing those games, whatever it is, those games.
Video games? Is that what you're saying?
He plays until 2 o'clock. Sometimes I have to text him saying, don't you think it's time for you to sleep? Then
So you do have some influence on him, and sometimes he'll listen to you. Is it your home, Victoria, or your son's home?
It's my home.
Oh, so then you have leverage here. You have some power here. I think your instincts are good, that there probably is not enough tough love going on for your grandson. You might be the main source of it as you ask him to mow the lawn. And so you might decide, and I'd probably do this with the help of a counselor, where I would start to try to plan a family strategy to make sure that your grandson has enough of the support that he needs. And he did try 2 therapists, so your efforts worked before. It just wasn't the right fit. So I'd have you suggest again and let him know. You'll help him find a therapist. It can take multiple to get the right fit of a therapist. But then you might also let your son know that it's not sitting well with you for your grandson to be able to live in your home and game so much of the time. And so a family therapist can help strategize your requirements to live under your roof, and then a timeline of when you might expect more effort, starting with something as simple as, I really would need you to put in 3 job applications a week. Something like that. You start small, you start with something doable, because he might be up against a lot with anxiety and maybe even a gaming addiction. And you're so right that it's a family issue, because gaming addictions can't usually take place unless somebody's paying for them. People are footing the bill for him, and by choosing to retract the privileges he's gotten to enjoy while clarifying expectations, that's where the likelihood comes through for a breakthrough.
Yeah, I appreciate that you care so much about your grandson, and because it is your home, you have a right to speak into what you see happening, especially if other people aren't being productive members of the household. And so, I mean, I think even, we don't really have time to get into the situation with why your son does actually live with you. And I think you said that he's married too. But it is a family issue, and he does listen to you. And finding a therapist can often feel like dating. You can't just give up after you just date a couple of people and say, dating's not for me. It takes a little bit of time, and it may also take, reaching out and asking other people, like, who have you found success with? And oftentimes that's how people find a good therapist, because other people recommend one to them. It sounds like your grandson's anxiety is so crippling, he may also need the help of medication just to get through, to have a breakthrough.
Let's send our book that Steve and I wrote, Understanding and Loving Your Child in a Screen-Saturated World. And we've got a webinar coming up, From Chaos to Calm, our faith-based webinar on anxiety, August 28th, 7 p.m.
Yes, indeed. This book here, it's available in the newlife.com store. But Victoria, we're going to send you a copy. And yes, if anything, you can tell your grandson, one of the stipulations for staying here in my home, you've got to attend Alice's webinar. It's coming up August 28th. You can sign up now. It's less than $20. One night only, 90 minutes. Hey, God bless you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, But you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.